Just want to welcome everyone to the Stacy A podcast show. Whether you're listening now or later, it is always the perfect time. I am Stacy A. and there is no E in my name. Are you a comfort killer? Where are my comfort killers? Let's go. Let's take some time today to demystify the word that we call entrepreneur. Let's take some time today to decompose and then rebuild in new soil the word and the meaning of entrepreneur. Let's take some time today to really ask ourselves the question, are we entrepreneurs? I had the pleasure of meeting lovely people yesterday, and it was during a talk. It was during a networking event that I got to speak to a few people that call themselves entrepreneurs. And I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he too spoke to someone that said, I love speaking with entrepreneurs. Entrepreneur this, entrepreneur that. Now I have to question, what is an entrepreneur? Is it someone that adds value? What is the definition of the word? Comfort killers, I know that you know that I have a 2,169 page dictionary, and I use it almost daily to look words up, to study, to find the real meaning of things, and to always remain consistent in communication. But goddamn, we got to get down to the nitty-gritty of what this word is. Now, I'm by another computer here, so I'm going to type in on just the regular dictionary that's in, when you type in Google, you get a whole bunch of listings. I'm going to pick definition that comes up right away. It says here, a promoter in the entertainment industry. And it also says here, a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. So let's go back to our two examples. A person that my buddy says, hey, listen, I want to work with entrepreneurs. I'm looking for entrepreneurs. Well, let me give you the whole entire context of it. He gets nudged by someone at a meeting, and after his talk or after his reading, the person identifies him as an entrepreneur and says, I like working with entrepreneurs. And rightly so, a lot of people do. A lot of people do, because the conception around entrepreneurs is one that is always on the go, always busy, always moving, always involved in some kind of commerce. And if you look on Instagram and you look online, you'll see that there are tons of entrepreneurs. In fact, if you just search hashtag entrepreneur, you'll find a few. This person goes on to say, I'm going to text you. He texts him, and it says, hey, nice meeting you. Before we go any further, I'm starting a business, and the business is going to make profit. And mind you, this is day 2 of meeting, okay? Day 2. The business will make profit, and I just want to know if you want to come half. There's no risk for you. There's no we're going to get it together. 50-50 split down the middle. Just let me know if you're interested. What the hell? And the entrepreneurs that I spoke to yesterday, I asked one question. And now mind you, when you're new to the game of entrepreneurship, when you're new to the game of building your business, you may not know everything. But when you go into business, there's some foundational things that you ought to invest time with learning, such as a big one, lead generation. So if I ask a fellow entrepreneur, hey, how does your lead gen look? Where are your people coming from? And your face turns blue and you don't know what a lead gen is, and you look in my eye and you say, well, I don't know what that is. Are you an entrepreneur? If you're in the right place at the right time, are you an entrepreneur? There's a lot of people touting this word, and I said to my buddy, I'm done with the word. I'm done with the word until it's decomposed, defiled, declassified, and then brought back with the true essence of the meaning. Was Steve Jobs an entrepreneur? Yes. Richard Branson? Yes. Solved the problem. Or created the problem and then solved the problem. I don't know if you know the story of Richard Branson. He was taking a flight. And the flight, there was a few people, and then the flight just got canceled. So he said, you know what? I'm just going to get a jet. I'm going to put it on the board here that we are flying A to B, and it's this much money. And he really took the people that were canceled and turned them into customers and created Virgin Air. I really want to get into, let me see, Richard Branson. Flight story. See if I. That's how he was. Okay, so how a canceled flight led to the world greatest travel empire. You can read it right here. It's on the internet. Okay, the internet said so. So Richard Branson may be known as, mogul, spiritual guy, world's greatest entrepreneur. His innovative thinking in the field of travel sets him apart, and he's a visionary. But what happened is Branson and his future wife, Joanne, were traveling to Puerto Rico when their flight was canceled, leaving them and hundreds of other passengers stranded at a small island airport. So Branson picked up the phone and tracked down a chartered plane. He divided the cost of the plane by the numbers of seats and charged the stranded passengers $39 to rebook their seats. When an acquaintance approached him months later with the idea for a transatlantic airline company, Branson seized the opportunity. So he didn't know. I mean, if you told him anything about FAA and the airline FCCs and all sorts of different things that you have to know when you step into business, I get it. He didn't know, but he knew the basic of business. Okay, I'm going to add value. I'm going to solve a problem. So the question then becomes, what problem is that text message solving? What is that doing for me? What is that doing for you? What problem are you solving? See, I get it. There's some other people in business that just go to Facebook. Amazon. They look at the top supplements that are being sold. They do a little research and they're like, I'm going to sell this top supplement. They go to ClickFunnels. They get a ClickFunnels page. They say this, they say that, and blah, blah, blah. They now have a product. The product is not theirs. Okay. The product is not manufactured by them. They're literally either black labeling, white labeling, or reselling a product. And, a lot of people go to Canal Street. Go to Canal Street in New York, okay? You want to talk about white label, black label, no label. Just go to Alibaba, right? But that's too much risk. Going to Alibaba and making connections and getting over a freight, a pallet, that's a lot of risk. So I go back to the definition of what is an entrepreneur then? What is an entrepreneur? What are we doing? And you know what? There's no harm, no foul for the entrepreneur of that type. There's no harm, no foul for the entrepreneur of the type that maybe likes working with entrepreneurs and has business ideas and decides to text them the business idea that never really says the business idea. And there's people like that all over. There's people that's in your inbox right now sitting, waiting for you to hit their GoFundMe on this new business proposal. There's people out right now that's waiting for you to sign up to teach you how to crypto and Forex, and you don't deny it because they're there. And if you go to their page, they say entrepreneur, thought leader, coach. So here's the whole gist of it. There's others, and I know the others are listening to this, that are bleeding for this shit on a daily basis. There's others into this that have put so much risk into what they're doing with the positive mental attitude that this thing will turn a profit because it solves a problem. No matter if the problem is big, if the problem's in a niche, or the problem is as small as, hey, listen, cut my toenails, man. Cut my toenails on the street. It doesn't matter, But what I'm really have a problem with, everyone just calling themselves entrepreneurs, man. You haven't put in the work. You haven't earned that title. Just because you get a page on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and they all match up, and you put out a few, you're not an entrepreneur. You haven't taken any risks. And they've made it so easy that a tweet is now what you call content. They said your Facebook status message is content. So keep doing it. And it's totally wrong. And that's why I'm continuing to reinvent the wheel. And I have no shame in doing that. I don't care how long it's going to take me. I had to come to terms with that. I had to come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to dive into what 99% of the people are doing right now. Matter of fact, once 99% of the people calling themselves entrepreneurs, and I'm seeing what's happening here, I don't want any parts of the word. You know what? I'm a businesswoman. Let's put it back. Let's bring it back. I'm a businesswoman. You ever met someone back in the 70s? What do you do? I do business, man. I'm in business. What's that? Entrepreneurs. Shit, your mom would kick you out the house if you called yourself an entrepreneur back then. But now it has a lure of wealth around it. It has a lure of, fanciness and luxury around the word. The shit is not luxurious. You know what it is, really, honestly, to really be 100% with you? It's risk, and it's rough, and you grind at it every day, and you figure some new things out, and you take time to a point where you figure, I don't even have time for the internet. I don't have time for social media, man. I don't. And people call me the warrior, because I am a warrior, and I want my comfort killers to not fall in the trap of just doing it the same old way. How are we going to evolve? One of the tribes had to do it some other way. Instead of settling and say, okay, we sense winter is coming upon us, and let's settle here for now. We know that the stars and the sun and the moon is thunderous, and it's saying move now with it. You know what? We're gonna stick around here. We're gonna say half of the tribe to stick here, stick around. Instead of sticking around, another tribe said, you know what? Let's keep it moving. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm not gonna stay here. Let's go see what we could do over there. Let's go see what we could get over there. Let's go see how we could get. You see what I'm saying? So we keep it moving. But once you're comfortable with what the 99% is doing, then you are of the 99%. And I should say 99 cents. You are of the 99%. Because you, the stranded passenger that couldn't get a trip to Puerto Rico, what are you going to think of at that point? You're going to, first of all, complain about it, whine about it, sit there and mope about it, cancel your entire vacation about it. What are you going to do? Because there's a group of people now that's figuring some things out in their head, and they're making it happen, and they're solving the problem. And just because you're an innocent bystander on the plane that Richard Branson, here's the thing. Here's the real big thing. Just because you're an innocent bystander that's on the plane, that you're stranded, just a stranded passenger, and Richard Branson said, hey, who's coming with me? And you go on the plane, do not make you the entrepreneur. You just happen to be there. Just happen to be there. You're not the one, okay? So what I'm seeing now is a great deal of boosting of the egos and the minds around this word entrepreneur. I want to decompose it. We want to bury it. We want to demystify it. We want to get down to the bottom of it. We want to ensure that if you call yourself an entrepreneur, there's a checklist to do so. How much time have you invested? How much money have you invested? How much man hours have you invested? Okay? How much personal development have you invested? How much delegating have you done? Did you pay anyone yet? Or did you just do it like everybody else? The easy way, a shortcut. And that's golden. Golden goose, you goose, it's golden. But at the end of the day, don't call yourself a fucking entrepreneur. And especially not around me. So everybody's a life coach. Everybody wants to speak. Everybody wants to write a book and put it on Amazon. I'm looking for ways to take my book off of Amazon. I want to pull back my distribution, okay? You see, you guys, there's a big world upon us. And unless you carve out a piece of your big world, you're really not playing by your own rules. You're really not living on your own terms. I love that, where someone says, I'm a life coach, I teach women how to live on their own terms. What are you fucking talking about? Because you're not even living on your own terms. Okay? Because it's super duper cookie cutter. And we're tired of it. The Comfort Killers, tired. UDI group, tired of it. And that's why we aim to change the game. It may take long, and you may not be singing our song right now, but I guarantee you, you stick with us, just like the big boys. Wheels will be reinvented, innovation will take place, policies will come in place. You got to know yourself. Know what you're about. Know what you're doing it for. Know what you're doing it for. Know who you're doing it for. Know what spells sense. Everyone out here is too confused to do business. If you can't make a move, you can't do business. Okay? If you can't make the move, you cannot do business. I am Stacy A. Cross. There's no E in my name. Guys, December 8th, we're down in Atlanta for the 3rd annual Holiday Mixer Meet and Greet, VIP one-on-one, Q&A, documentary release party, and networking event, all wrapped up in one fat blunt. No, we're not smoking there. Okay. I used to say that, though, when I'm wrapped up in one fat blunt. No, you're not. Sit down. So, that's happening December 8th. Information's in the show notes. I don't know if you're listening to this here on YouTube or you're listening to it on whatever platform you're listening to on. I need you to do me a favor. If you can't do me a favor, just don't do it. Don't say maybe. Don't think about it. Just do it. Do me this favor. Subscribe to the podcast. Leave a review. Okay? We're going to analyze and break down these walls that we've put up and we've accepted it. You talking about the wall that Donald Trump wants to put up, and you've already put up a wall with you, all right? Or you're already trying to puncture a wall that other people have put up, and you're not saying nothing about that wall. You're busy talking about the other wall. Fuck the other wall. Let's talk about the wall that's around your mind. Let's talk about the wall that's around your whole thing, around the 99%. Let's talk about that wall. Comfort Killers. You could grab my book right now at thecomfortkillers.com. I'm working on a webinar. In fact, before I start the webinar, I'm just going to give my people a quick glance at it. And if you're an entrepreneur, business person, businesswoman, businessman, I salute you. If you want to get into the game, great. You're at the right place. I salute you. A lot of my topics now will be more business-oriented for people that have found their purpose and they're moving into profits. We got to get to that level, okay? And we got to do it right. Everyone does it, okay? What I saw last night was terrifying. I got goosebumps. This is the new marks now. They're coming on out. And these new marks are calling themselves entrepreneurs. And all they have done was got a website on Squarespace. I am Stacy A. Cross. There's no E in my name. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Stacy A. Cross Show. If you've enjoyed this episode, do me a solid and share it out to your network. Share it out to someone who may need it. Also subscribe and leave a review. This keeps us going and going and going. And as my mission is big, you're included in it. So head over to thecomfortkillers.com right now and be a part of our growing comfort killing movement. I am Stacy A. Cross. There is no E in my name. Until next time.